Good afternoon. Um, I'll be talking on, let me get my topic. Can I? Thank you. Okay, profit and purpose, mastering the art of financial discipline and smart bookkeeping. Please, you guys will forgive me or bear with me rather. I'm running on 2 hours of sleep, so I guess the session will be brief, and if I'm not as detailed as I should be, please just understand with me. My name is Samuel, or majority of you know me as Tolu. So let's stick with Tolu Oladele, and I'll be talking to you guys very briefly on the topic I earlier mentioned. Basically, we're here to talk about how many of us are into business, by the way? Let's start from there. How many of us are business people? Okay. How many of us are salary earners? So we have people that double as salary earners and business people, isn't it? For me, I think it's the way forward. If you're able to strike the right balance between working for someone, 8 to 5, and also setting up your business, ultimately you set up a foundation that will probably lead to you retiring voluntarily and establishing something solid for yourself, or what will be a backup throughout the course of your paid employment, and also something you can fall back on, when you get old and eventually retire. So, being or doing business is the way to go, but you have to do it right. I think the biggest problem that people face is their inability to do. Okay. Is their inability to do business right. If you're able to do business right, to a large extent, you will enjoy it. If you're not doing it right, or if you can't do it right, you will be frustrated ultimately. And what we're going to talk about today will help you build financial discipline, probably introduce you to certain work tools and applications that you can use for bookkeeping. Align your finances with your core mission and values, and then build systems and habits that makes financial discipline a way of life. We're going to have a very interactive session, yeah? What do we think is the sole aim of starting up businesses? To make profit, okay? Does any other person have any contrary opinion? To do what? To make name. To make name for yourself, Abi? Whether or not to make profit, as long as your name is out there. Okay, is there any other opinion on this? Trademark, okay? What else? Some businesses are born out of passion, okay? Any other answer? Okay. Yes, we are all right in different ways, yeah? But the truth is, the ultimate aim why somebody will wake up and set up a business, if you are not running an NGO, is to make profit, whether we like it or not. Even people that run NGOs, one way or the other, they enrich themselves. They find ways of enriching themselves. Because you can't just stand up and then say, oh, you want to start an NGO business, and then you use your money all through the lifespan of that NGO business to fund it. The Bill Gates of today, before they set up their Bill Gates Foundation, they did things that, generated profit for them, isn't it? And the profit is what they now use to fund their NGO. But I'll tell you something. If you are able to find a purpose ahead of the mindset of profitability, you'll be more successful. If you are starting a business with the aim, you have a purpose in mind, ultimately, you'll be more successful. And I will tell you what that means. So there's something that I wrote here that says, sorry, let me get it. Profit fuels your businesses or your business, but purpose gives it meaning. Profit fuels your business, but purpose gives it meaning. It's just like in the banking industry. I work in the bank, so most times it's easy for me to give examples, citing my experiences in the bank. For those of us that started our banking career in the marketing field, I tell people the best thing that can happen to you as a banker is to be a marketer. I've been a marketer in the bank this is my 12th year in banking, yes. And right from our training school, I remember when one of the facilitators came in and said, how many of you want to join the marketing team? We're only two that raised our hands. Because people have the notion that marketing is a very difficult thing to do. Yes, it is. But that's saying that the higher the risk, the higher the reward. It's applicable. It's a law of nature that nobody can do anything about. Do you understand? It now depends on the mindset with which you go into that marketing. So, through the course of my banking career, there's something that has always worked for me, and it is what I preach. I can never walk up to you, no matter how big you are, and come and tell you, Mr. Kene, let's assume Kene is Dangote. I say, Dangote, please, I work in the bank, give me deposit. I can never. I have never done that, and I will never do it. What I will do to Kene is get an opportunity to deliver service. When I'm able to deliver service to Kene, Kene will automatically bank with me. It's given. So, I told you guys that I'm working on 2 hours of sleep. I was outside with someone till 5:05 a.m. this morning. And this is someone that what I'm looking for from him will not materialize until probably 2 years from now. But the reason why I spent more than 8 hours with him, I met him up around 8 p.m. yesterday, and I was there till 5, more than 8 hours with him, was because I needed to show him that I can add value. And trust me, that happened. He has an itinerary for this evening. He called me this morning to say, okay, by 5, meet me up again. So, when he doesn't know what I'm pursuing, I know what I'm pursuing, isn't it? So 2 years down the line, it's only natural for him to call me to say, Sam, come and handle this when that thing materializes. So that's the same thing you do in business. Because when you start business, just because you want to make profit, yes, you might start, and then a few months down the line, without offering quality service to the people that consume your product or services, that business will fold up. So, yes, you need profit to follow your business, but purpose gives it what? The meaning that is required. Most businesses fail, not because they don't have a good product or services, but because they lack financial clarity and discipline. Statistics has it that 70 to 80% of small businesses fail within the first 5 years, and the major cause is poor financial management. So we'll dive into financial management and see how financial management, can help foster or lead to a successful business at the end of the day. In business, there's what we call cash flow. Cash flow is different from your profit, isn't it? So, for example, you start up a business. You are selling some goods and services, and then maybe in the first month of your sales, you are able to sell goods worth or offer service value, or you got value for services that you offered worth 10 million naira, for example. It's possible that the profit on that 10 million might just be 100,000 or 500,000. But if you get carried away by the huge figures that you're seeing based on your cash flow, without paying attention to what your actual profit is, and then you begin to spend, the way they say it on the street, you spend loud, because you feel you have 10 million naira sitting somewhere. Trust me, before you know what's happening, that 10 million naira goes into the thin air. So your ability to structure your business in such a way that at every point in time, you're able to identify what your profit margin is, either plow back that profit into the business or manage your expenses, especially personal expenses around that profit that you've made, is what will lead to your business success. I think a couple of years back, I spoke and I gave someone an example. One of the best businesses I have managed in my banking career is the business of Bolton White. Bolton White Hotels, an apartment. Bolton White, they have an hotel, they have an apartment. They are the owners of John Wood. There's this big hotel, John Wood, by FIRS. They own it. You see John Wood by Bolton. And the model is very simple. The management staff or the owners, because it's a family-run business, isn't it? The father, the mother, and about 7 children that he has. He doesn't pay them salary, but he pays them a percentage of their monthly profits. And what does that do? What's the implication of that to the business? Everybody is involved, because you know the more you support that business to grow, at the end of the month, the more money comes to your pocket. So he brings out their profit every month, and a percentage goes to him, the highest, of course, as the father and the owner of the business, the mother, another percentage, and all the children. And all of them are involved. And it's one business that, in short, up until when I availed them 300 million naira in 2018 to furnish that John Wood. They didn't need a loan. And I gave them that 300 million for 5 years. Believe you me, they paid back under 1 year. They paid back under 1 year. At a point, as a bank, we were the ones begging them to come and collect more money, because that's the definition of a good customer. And why is it so? Because everybody is involved. And why are they involved? They are involved because they are making money off profitability. Probably if that man had decided to say, oh, I have a big hotel in Abuja, I pay myself 10 million naira every month, pay all my children 5 million every month, pay my wife 7 million. As long as they are seeing that money every month, they are not bothered about whether the business is growing or not. But the month that all of them are involved, getting referrals, going out to meet corporate organizations that they will go into agreements with, they know that more money will come. Then at the end of the month, if they make, let's say, 50 million, you are going home with like 10 million. As a young man, why? Because your father has a hotel. But you're not just going home with that money because your father has a hotel. You are going home because you have worked to ensure, that hotel is successful. So it is because they are able to identify their profitability at every point in time and spend within that profitability. They also do lots of plowback. So what happens is, from that profit, a certain percentage goes back into the business. And how does it go back? They have a plan every 2 years, they do renovation, because hotel business is a very tricky business. The moment people start feeling that your hotel is, out of fashion, or people is not in vogue, they move on to the next one. So for them, a certain part of their profit still goes back to a savings, where after every 2 years, they ensure that they upgrade their facilities, to meet up with modern standards. So, smart bookkeeping is not just for accountants, because that's what we're going to dwell on, how you can track your profitability. And the best way to do that is smart bookkeeping. It's not just for accountants, it is for your daily dashboard for decision making. If you are able to keep proper records as a business owner, you will be able to make what's informed decision. You will not just wake up and make decisions because you want to make decisions, but you are looking at it. You are seeing the trajectory of your business. And you know that, okay, what will take you from point A to point B is you doing this. Because over the months, or over the years, it has worked for you. So, purpose-driven businesses outperform the market in the long term, but only when they have financial discipline to sustain their vision. What is financial discipline? Financial discipline is just about being intentional with every naira you earn and you spend. Building systems and habits that reduces financial stress. As a business owner, you can't afford to live beyond or above what your business is making. The time for enjoyment will come, trust me. But at the initial stage, you have to pay the sacrifice. You have to sacrifice your time, sacrifice your energy, sacrifice your welfare, sacrifice proper clothing, sacrifice outings. Why? Because at that initial stage, you need to nurture the business very well. No matter how big the business might look at the initial stage, if you don't make those sacrifices, trust me, it will fizzle out. There's nothing you can do about it. But if you're able to make those sacrifices, put in the work, plow back your profit at the initial stage, and then build a sustainable empire, there's a certain level your business will reach, and it will just be cruise control. Because you have set up a system that works. So at that point, everything just falls in place, and then maintains a certain tempo. So what is smart bookkeeping? Bookkeeping is the heartbeat of your business. It tells you if you are making money. Bookkeeping tells you if you are spending too much, and then also tells you if you can afford to invest in another business. So, and it doesn't take a lot to do bookkeeping. If you have your computer with Excel sheets, you can do your bookkeeping. If you have even elementary knowledge of accounting, it's easy for you to monitor what goes in and what comes out of your business. And of course, the difference between what comes in and what has gone out is your profit, isn't it? So it's just very easy. You don't need to have a professional at the initial stage to handle your bookkeeping. It's just for you to have basic knowledge of accounting principles, and you'll be able to understand these things. Profit fuels business growth and operations, while purpose gives direction and meaning to your business. Balancing both leads to long-term sustainability. If you're able to balance the need to make profits and have a purpose for your business, you'll be sustainable in the long term. For example, if you're able to reinvest your profits into innovation, because the world changes, the dynamics, even people's taste and desires changes. So if you are doing the same thing over and over again, you'll be getting the same results. But when people have moved on, you should be able to innovate, study the market, study the change that has happened, in the hearts and minds of people, and then tailor your products and services, to satisfy that change. Otherwise, you'll be left behind. What is profit? Profit is essential, and we know what profit is, the difference between what comes in and what goes out. Profit keeps your business running. It pays your staff members if you have staff members. It allows you to reinvest in your operations and gives you room to grow. It is actually the engine of the business. Purpose, on the other hand, is your deeper why. Why am I doing this business? Why do I wake up every morning to go and open my shop? Whether physical shop or online shop, isn't it? If you understand why and you're able to answer why, you have achieved your purpose in that business. I met somebody one day. This man is a billionaire. When I say billionaire, he's a billionaire. And then he was talking, very young man, because he's in his 40s. Myself and my regional manager. My regional manager now asked him that, Oga, I've been doing this banking job for more than 25 years. Give me an insight into how you made this money. You know what the man said? The man said that there's no place he goes into and he doesn't find a problem. If he enters into any room, he tries to identify the problem that exists in that organization or the problem that exists in that office or anywhere it is that he has entered. And once he identifies that problem, the next thing is to create a solution. And when he creates that solution, he comes back to you and says, "Okay, I saw this problem here. This is the solution to your problem." It's as simple as that. You have taken the burden of research off that your subscriber. And it's very easy for that person to key in and buy whatever it is that you are selling to him. You understand? He said, even with our small money that we have, if he comes to our office, he will come and check. What is the issue? He said, there's something that is not working well in this office. He will not tell you anything. After a few days, he will come back and tell you, I noticed this thing here. This is the solution to this problem. And he will make money off you. Even you that you don't have as much money as he has, isn't it? So, providing solutions to people's problems is just the purpose of any business. And if you are able to do that, your business will be sustainable. Because everybody wants solution to their problems. Whether financial problems, physical problems, spiritual problems, business problems, whatsoever it is, everybody wants solutions. Somebody cannot have a problem and you're offering solution to him or her, and he would not want to get that solution. So, if you're able to understand why, it gives meaning to your business. Why did you start it? What kind of legacy are you trying to build? Who are you here to serve beyond just making profit? So when profit and purpose work in harmony, you avoid the trap of short-term thinking. You attract loyal customers, mission-aligned investors, and passionate team members. You build a business that endures, even in hard times. Profit feeds the mission, while purpose fuels the vision. This is the mindset we'll carry forward into our businesses going forward if we want to be successful. Now, the cost of financial indiscipline. So are you the kind of person that starts a business with 200,000 naira? After you make a profit of 50,000, maybe after you sell whatever it is that you have as products, instead of reinvesting that 50,000 into the business, because if you start a business, for example, with 200,000, and then maybe 3 months down the line, you made 250,000. If you are smart, you will not reinvest just the 200,000. You will go ahead and probably reinvest the 250,000, so that 250,000 will give you 325,000 naira after 3 months. If you reinvest that 325,000 naira, that 325,000 will probably give you 450,000 again after 3 months. So that's why I said at the beginning of the business, if you are not sacrificial in nature, you can't be successful. The best you can be is just to remain at the same level. But if you're able to sacrifice some of the things that will probably lead to your enjoyment just because you want to reinvest back in the business, have that discipline, there will be growth. At the end of the day, you will not need loan from anybody. You will not need anybody's support. Just gradually, you will grow and get to the level that you want to get to. So, people's poor financial habits, their poor financial habits damage their long-term stability. Cash flow mismanagement leads to operational issues. Lack of planning causes what? Missed opportunities. There's a term in business called leakage in the bucket. And those are as a result of small oversights that compound over time. So you start a business, there are some things that you are not doing right, and you choose not to correct them. They will cause leakages in that business. You might think it's something small. So, for example, you have a bucket that is filled with water, and it's just, leaking. Drops. Some people might not pay attention to it. But that same bucket, if you allow that leakage to continue, probably after 2 hours, it becomes empty. Do you understand? But when you look at that leakage and you fix it immediately, you still have whatever it is that you have in the content. So small leakages in business, it's easy to overlook. You sell a product to a customer, the customer tells you, this stuff that you make, I don't like the taste. And then you are like, what do you concern this one? Does he, you are not keen about finding out what led to that displeasure. And you just continue to do your thing. The one customer that complains to you that doesn't like the taste of maybe your donuts or your chin-chin or your peanut or whatsoever it is, there might be several other customers that might not have access to you or even have access to you and just choose to keep quiet. And then what happens? They move on to the next person. But if you had paid attention to the one person that gave you that complaint, found out the root cause of the problem, and then you fix it. Even those that did not complain to you, when they buy your product again, they will realize that you have fixed it, and they will continue to patronize you. So that's what leakages does in business. Or are you a service provider that offers a service, and then somebody tells you, oh, I gave you clothes to sew for me. You told me you give me after 2 weeks. 2 weeks passes, it becomes 1 month. And then I'm telling you, Oga, why did you delay? And you are not interested in probably apologizing and explaining what happened, and also ensuring that it doesn't happen next time. So the next time you delay again, after a while, I move on. I always give an example of my tailor. Gabriel knows him, isn't it? He was a former banker that started tailoring business. Today he's international. He was on the Rwanda fashion show that happened this week. All the way from Nigeria, Rwanda fashion show that happened. We went there to showcase his own products. And what was it for him? It was just consistency in delivery. If Rolex tells you he will deliver your clothes in 3 days, unless rapture happens, so I'm serious, unless rapture happens, Rolex will deliver it in 3 days. There was a particular incident that happened. He gave me 3 days. On that third day, his boys messed him up. 11:59, he appeared. He came to my house. It was easy for him to just call and say, I will deliver tomorrow. But because he wants to be known for being a man of his word, he came to my house. He left his station in Apo and came to Lugbe to deliver it. Even me that was buying, I didn't see the need to, but I learned a lesson, from that. Do you understand? And to make up and down, if I give Gabriel or Ezra, probably I might do it. Gabriel, what's your rate now at the moment? 35. Rolex sells my up and down, probably with quality materials, but he sells them at 200K. In all honesty, I give him more business than I give Gabriel. And it's just a case of proper branding and delivery service. So if I have an emergency, okay, I was supposed to travel to Jamaica next week, but I'm not going because I got my visa to Jamaica, but I didn't get my transit visa, and the program I was going for is supposed to be 3rd and 4th. Now, when they gave me my visa last week, Thursday, and I knew I needed to make some clothes that I would wear throughout my stay over there, it was him that came to mind. Because I know between Thursday and Sunday, Rolex will deliver those clothes. It's as simple as that. It's nothing personal, It's just strictly what someone has built, for himself. So, when you are able to offer such kind of services, avoid leakages in your businesses and correct leakages when they are observed, you will also have a sustainable business. Consequences: debt, employee turnover, investors' distrust, and failure. If you don't address all these consequences, it will ultimately lead to the downfall of your business. When financial discipline is missing, many businesses that have big dreams begin to put out poor returns, and it erodes the ambition of the owner. And how does that happen? If you're not able to track your income and expenses accurately, so you have a shop, you are selling products, and then every month money comes in. You have forgotten that you have rent to pay after 12 months. And you are not factoring in your cost of rent, probably your cost of electricity, cost of running one thing or the other, every single cost. In short, even your cost of transportation from your house to your business place is supposed to be factored into the expense of your business. So if you really want to understand how business works, every single thing, when you get there, you're feeding while you are at that place, is supposed to be factored into your expenses. That's the only way you can actually know if you are running a profitable enterprise or not. Everything that has to do with your activities in that place has to be factored in. So if you are not tracking your income and expenses accurately, there's no way that you will have a sustainable business. When you mix personal and business finances together, you will also not be able to have a sustainable business. So for those of us that work, for example, and also have businesses, if the money from your salary goes into your business and month in, month out, you feel your business is sustainable, meanwhile, you are servicing the sustainability of that business from your salary that you are earning from another employer, you are not actually doing business. So your business should be able to service all the expenses that comes with that business. All the expenses that comes with that business, your business should be able to service it. I have a salon in Akko Estate. That salon has been there for about 8 years or thereabouts. 1 naira from my salary doesn't go there. In short, there was a time I needed to upgrade the salon to solar, do some renovation and all whatnot. Just because I have records of what comes in every month, and factor in what the rent will be, when I got to my spend limit based on the income that has come from that place over the last 12 months, I told them, you guys will wait on this other aspect till next year. And that's not because I didn't have the money. I had the money from my own, but I can't use my salary to service a business expense. It is something that I have learned. Do you understand? You are not punishing yourself, but you are actually trying to be sure that you're on the right track. So unless, if you choose to take it as a loan, for example, a loan from a person to the business, if it's urgent, you can choose to do that. And you also ensure that that business pays back that loan. If the business is unable to pay back that loan, then there's an issue. So even if it's your own personal money, you are lending to your business, you have to track it and ensure that that money comes back to you. And the business is still sustainable. Making impulse purchases without strategic value. You are selling something, and then somebody, okay, let's use Kazite for example, selling shoes. Yes, it's good to diversify, but you can't diversify just because you want to diversify. You have to be strategic about, making your diversification choices. What happens when you diversify without, being strategic? At the end of the day, if anything goes wrong, you will crumble the business that was already, thriving on its own. Do you understand? So you have to be very strategic. There's a friend of mine that has a supermarket in Lugbe here. Now, he started business. Of course, he's an Igbo boy, so he did this, what they call it, Nwa boy. And then, after how many years, the boss settled him. And when he was settled, he continued in the same line of business. That's FMCG, all these fast-moving consumer goods, supplying to the likes of H-Medics, Sahad stores, and all whatnot. He was doing very well. And then one morning, he walks up to me and says, Sam, I want to start up a club on that Trademore Road. There's a plaza where he had a supermarket on that Trademore Road. I said, Idoko Club? He said, yes. That's he knows that there's no club around that place, so he knows it's going to thrive and all whatnot. And then, as a financial person, I try to, offer advice. Have you really done your research? Are you sure this thing will thrive here? Because I'll give you my own reason. As someone that has been on the streets too, sometimes when you want to do certain things, you might not do it in your immediate vicinity. So I told him, I said, you might think there's no club in this axis. You are targeting the people on Trademore, that live in Trademore and all those places. Majority of them would rather go to their clubs in Wusetu and Metama than club around their house. But with the people in Metama and Wusetu come to Lugbe to club, it's not possible. And what happened? He sunk in over 40 million in that club. That club did not see the light of the day. In short, the first thing that happened was the people that were living behind, there was an estate behind that plaza. They officially wrote a complaint to the owner of the plaza, who is a Muslim, coincidentally, to say this thing is bringing unnecessary attention, noise, blah, blah. And he had already paid non-refundable 5 years lease agreement, And then Idoko ran into serious problems, very serious problems. Up to now, he hasn't come out of it. So, if you already have a niche, if you already have something that is prospering, sometimes you don't need to diversify. Especially because fast-moving consumer goods, see, if you don't have 10,000, if you don't have money at home, you have maybe 10,000 at home, you must buy food to eat. If your children walks up to you and say, Daddy, we need biscuit to take to school and Capri Sun, you will go and buy. That's why they call it fast-moving consumer goods. You will not have 10,000 at home and then you'll be looking at buying designer wares. Or buying glasses or doing this or that. You will buy food. So he dipped his hand into his capital from what was striving to start. It's somebody that has eaten and is belly food that will go to club now, isn't it? So people make such mistakes, and it's all boils down to financial indiscipline. Indiscipline isn't always dramatic. Often it's daily small decisions that hurt the most. Small decisions that you think they don't matter, They are the ones that hurt the most sometimes. Cash flow mismanagement. Even profitable businesses can fail if they run out of cash. Cash flow is the lifeblood of your business without visibility and control. So when you can't pay staff on time, you delay vendor payments. People that supply you delay their payments. That damages your relationship with them. And that will lead to you missing out on probably bulk discounts or even investment opportunities. Now, misplanning. When there's no budget or forecast, you spend without understanding the impact. You can't plan for growth or prepare for downturns. And you lose investor confidence. They see that you are reactive and not strategic. You know what the difference between being proactive and reactive is? A proactive person sees the future and tries to hedge against negative consequences of actions, isn't it? While a reactive person allows the things to happen to him before he thinks about how to mend the situation. You can only be successful if you're actually very proactive. So, even when your business is thriving, even when you think you are doing well, the day you just sit back and say, I'm doing well, let me just relax and enjoy myself. That is the day you start seeking your downfall. At every point in time, if you put yourself under some sort of pressure to be successful, you will remain successful. And that is why Dangote, with all the money that he has, will leave the salt business and food business and start cement business. With all the money he has, he will leave that cement business and start what? Oil and gas business. With all the money that he has, today now, or recently I heard is about opening how many filling stations. He's now retailing. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? There was another thing I heard, whether he wants to start going to electricity distribution. Exactly. So that's because he's already thinking, what is the next thing? He can afford to just lie down and have people manage his businesses. But what will happen? That big empire will crumble at a point. So if you're able to put yourself under good pressure, see, there's good pressure. Let me tell you, there's good pressure. There's bad pressure and there's good pressure. So bad pressure is you probably thinking and disturbing yourself over something you cannot do anything about. But good pressure is you being intentional about achieving something that is within your control. So I'll give you an example. Something that you cannot do anything about, probably a decision that your superiors or external factors have to take. If you lie down, you bother yourself from now till tomorrow, you just give yourself high blood pressure. Because what will happen will happen. What will happen will happen. But you have 2 million lying down in your account. Instead of you lying down and then sleeping and say, I have 2 million, You are thinking about what you will do with that 2 million that will multiply it to 5 million. You are positively putting yourself under pressure because you are putting your brain to work to turn idle funds into active funds. So that's what I mean by putting yourself under pressure. Anything that is within your control and you are able to, think things through and see what it is that you can do to improve on your current situation will ultimately lead to you being successful. Every naira not tracked is a naira lost. Discipline isn't a luxury. It is a necessity for survival and growth. Every naira not tracked is a naira lost. The current head of the Dantata and Sawo family is in his 80s. And we were with him one day, and he said something. He said, he used to call him Mr. Samuel. He said, Mr. Samuel, do you know that if I lose 1 naira, I can use 1,000 naira to pursue that 1 naira? Not because it is profitable, but because I want to send a message to other people that you cannot take my 1 naira again in the future. So, if he loses 1 naira, he can use 1,000 naira to build a case, make case to recover that 1 naira. Not because of anything, but because he wants to send a message to other people. And that will avoid future leakage. Because when you see him dealing with somebody that stole 1 naira from him, if you had intention of stealing 10,000 naira, you will back down. But he can afford to say that 1 naira is nothing to him. And then somebody will say, oh, this man lost this 1 naira and he didn't do anything about it. And he will go ahead and steal 10,000 naira. I had a friend, Eno. I say Eno. Sharon knows him, Kali's Ventures. Last month, before he traveled to China, someone that was close to him defrauded him 10 million naira. She used the POS, transferred the money, and then she left. And then he called me to say, I see what happened. Of course, we went to his shop, played CCTV, we saw when the girl did the act. I used my connect in the bank to track where the money went to in FCMB, got the phone number of the person that the money was transferred to. And then when we realized that it was a bureau de change person. So what she did was she just sent that money to a BDC person, went there, collected dollars, and then she left. So I'm not a shareholder in Kalis. He's just my friend. But what happened was from there, we went to that BDC person's office, we placed CCTV, we confirmed that it was the girl. The next thing, we started looking for ways to track her. We used the police and the DSS. We were able to track her mom and dad. At a point, it was just becoming very hazy, I mean, her mom and her sister. We couldn't track her. The next time, we got another number. We tracked her to around the University of Abuja in Gogolada. We got there. She had left. And then at a point, the young man now said he's tired. And short, she just forget about the money. And I'm like, 10 million naira in this economy, you won't forget. He said yes. He's even lucky because he had about 100 million in that account. That the girl did not even know that he had that much. And then he transferred. And then I now told him, I said, when he traveled to China and came back, I said, we have to go back and pursue this case to the end. Not because you can't leave it, you are liquid enough to leave it, but because you need to send message across to the other people that works with you. So his sales boys and sales girl, if they see that this man lost 10 million naira and forgot about it, they will strike. So what they will just do is to say, okay, let me strike and go into hiding. If this man looks for me for 2-3 days, do you understand? At the end of the day, he will just give up on it and forget about it. So, as a business person, every single loss in your business, you pursue it to the very end. Not because you are just interested in pursuing that loss, but because you need to send a message across that you are serious with your business and you don't take losses as a joke in any way or form. What is financial discipline? Financial discipline is not about being miserly or rigid. We're not saying you should be financially disciplined and then you look haggard. You look rough, you look dirty because you want to be financially disciplined. No. Sometimes, especially in this Abuja, I tell people, I talked with Gabriel a lot. I said packaging is very important. You know, the way you package yourself, especially in Abuja, it can open doors or close doors for you. It's given. Do you understand? So, we're not saying because you want to be financially disciplined, you should look miserly or rigid. It is about being in control and making purposeful decisions with your money. So, in all you're looking good, you have to ensure that you're looking good within the limit of what your financial ability can carry or take. And you don't need hundreds of millions to look good. You don't need tens of thousands to look good. It's just about looking at the right direction. So, don't be financially disciplined. Bratolu said we should be financially disciplined, and then you start wearing rags up and down the streets of Abuja. No. But do things and ensure at every point in time you are in control of whatever it is that you are doing. And you are making what? Purposeful decisions with your money. Managing your money proactively, not what? Reactively. Having a system for every naira or dollar. And then making spending decisions based on strategy and what? Not emotion. Key habits of financial discipline. You plan, you track, and you what? Review. When you plan, you track, and you review. What does review do? You look back at your activities over the course of a week. If you want to be reviewing daily, you can review daily. If you want to review weekly, you can review weekly. If you want to review monthly, you can what? Review monthly. But ensure that at every point in time, you review your activities. You look at what it is that you have done right and what it is that you have done wrong. Build on what it is you have done right, and you correct what it is that you have done wrong. Discipline is dynamic. It can change. So you update your strategy based on what? Results. You don't just react. You respond strategically. Discipline ultimately leads to freedom. And freedom helps you to grow without stress, helps you to invest without fear, freedom to walk into meetings with clarity and what? Confidence. Financial discipline does not limit you. It frees you to build the business that you truly want. Finally, because my time is up, when you take records, you are not just taking record. It helps you to make smart decisions, spend wisely, improves your creditworthiness, track trends, and predict the future. You cannot manage what you don't measure. It's only what it is that you measure that you can actually manage. If you don't know how much you earn, where it is going to, and how fast it is growing, then how can you improve on it? You can't improve on it. Until you know those things, that's the only way you can improve. Smart bookkeeping isn't a cost. It is a revenue protector. It helps you make better decisions, avoid losses, and stay ahead. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you. Okay, yes. Sorry, I forgot. So does anyone have a question? Okay, please pass the mic.
Okay, I want to ask.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you, sir.
Okay, financial discipline, like you said, will lead us to freedom. Now, I'm trying to understand the place of risk, because taking financial risks at some point will, like with any risk, one cannot actually say this is where it is heading because it's a risk. So, but where is the place of risk, and should risk have a margin? Say, I'm like your friend who ventured into the club business. That was a miscalculated risk. If it had worked out for him, we'll also be reading him as another
as a genius
story. Yes, as a genius in that field.
Genius,
so,
yeah.
where is the place of risk in this place? And what should be the margin? Should there be a litmus paper test before we proceed? Or how do we factor this for young entrepreneurs like us?
Okay, just like you said, you can take risks, but take calculated risks. So what I mean by calculated risk is any risk that you take, and the outcome of that risk, if negative, will not really affect what you have going, is what's taken. So I will explain. For example, you are doing a business, you are making profit of, let's say, 10 million, for example, monthly. Or even over the course of the year, your profit is 10 million. And you have a working capital of, let's say, 100 million. And you want to venture into something, you want to take a new risk. It's foolishness for you to take 80 million from your working capital into that new risk. But if probably you take 20% of your working capital, that's 20 million, plus your profit, 30 million, and venture into something new. If it goes well, fine and good. But if it doesn't, the 70 million that you have left in your existing business, you can survive on it. So over time, you'll recover from the miscalculated risk that you have taken. It's good to take risk, always take calculated risk, and take risks that, worst case scenario, you will always survive. That is my answer to your question.
So please, my question goes like this. Like someone is into a business and it is flowing very well and the person starts making profits. Then he or she starts saving for the future purpose. I want to ask, does saving affect someone's business? Maybe in the way or manner the person was saving, does it affect the business?
No, business savings can never affect your business. Because you are saving from your profit, isn't it? It's only when you are dipping into your working capital or your principal or your capital, let me put it that way, to save, that it will affect your business. But as long as the savings comes from your profit at the end of the month, at the end of the year, whatever it is, as long as it comes from your profit, it can never affect your business.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
I have two questions. Number one, okay, you talked about finding a problem and providing a solution. So, in a case like you see a problem in the business and it's not a solution that you can provide, do you keep quiet? Or you should just leave it as it is, or you tell the person, like, what's your
Sorry,
your take?
I don't understand. You see a problem,
Yeah,
and you can't provide a solution. You can't provide a solution because you don't have the finance, or because you don't have a solution to the problem at all.
I don't have a solution at all.
Okay.
So what do you do in that situation? Is it that you just keep quiet and just go your own?
You will keep quiet and go and research until you develop a solution to the problem. Because, yes, unless if you have maybe like a personal relationship with the person and say, oh, Oga, I noticed this problem. Or even if I cannot come up with a solution at the moment, do you understand? But this is a problem. Probably you can go and work on finding a solution to it. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? That's okay when you have a relationship with the person. But if there's no relationship, you can just choose to go and research more on that problem, discuss with other people, and ultimately you might get a solution. When you get a solution, you go back to the person and offer that solution to the person at a cost that will lead to profitability for you.
Okay. So my second question is this. I come from a household of like, we are being told to avoid loans.
Avoid what?
Avoid taking loans as much as possible.
Okay, avoid taking loans, yeah.
Okay, so would you say that's the correct mentality, or is something that you can work on?
Okay. Kazayet, are you listening? Because somebody was telling you about loan while we were outside. So I will tell you what it is. Loans, is one of the best things that can happen to a business if taken rightly and also utilized rightly. Avoid taking loans to start a business. That's highway to debt or debt of the business. You can't start a business with loans. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Especially loans that has interest. If it's loans that is interest-free, fine and good. Do you understand? Because you are not sure of what your margins are. If you take loan to start a business, what if your margins cannot even service the interest of the business, not to talk about returning the principal? If it's interest-free, if it's someone that comes to meet you, oh, what's your name? Bola, if I come and meet you and say, okay, I will give you 500,000, go and start a business. Pay me back when you are able to. That's a loan, that's good. You know that you have an obligation that you're going to pay back, isn't it? But you walk into my bank and come and meet me as Samuel, the manager, now, not Samuel, your brother in church. And I give you 500,000 naira. From next month, I'm coming to meet you to pay back my principal and interest. What is the probability that next month you already made a profit to service my interest and pay back my principal? It's lean. So you don't start businesses with loan. However, one of the fastest way to grow a successful business, that is to say, after you've started, you already know what your margins are, is by collecting loans. Loans will take you from point A to point B. Take it from me. As long as you don't divert the loan. So if I give you that loan and you will not go and look at one sister in church and say, I'm ripe for marriage. And you now use it for marriage. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? If you put it back in the business, it's already working. There's already a working formula. It will take you from point A to point B. So if, for instance, you had 500,000 as your working capital, I give you 1 million naira, and you inject the whole 1 million naira, you have moved your working capital from 500,000 naira to 1.5 million. That way you'll be able to service the loan. But where most people get it wrong is collecting that 1 million naira to go and start either something new or divert it entirely. That's something new. You are not sure if the returns on that something new. So what I mean by something new, it can even be a case of MMM. Put 1 million and collect 2 million tomorrow. Then when it gets to your turn, people have been collecting it, but when it reaches your turn, the thing crashes. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? And then you're not looking for me to tell me stories. You get? Yeah.
Thank you, sir. It's not a question. I just want to add to what you said concerning his question.
Yeah.
Sorry. You can talk about business without talking about risk taking.
Yes.
Both of them works hand in hand.
100%.
And somebody, like if someone brings a business proposal or a project that you would like to invest in, before you invest into that project, there's something we call feasibility studies in business. You assess, you think how viable that project you want to invest in, how viable will it be? Like the outcome, will it be profitable or am I going to lose? Then it will help you to make decisions, to take decisions that will help you to reduce the risk that may occur in the future. So you cannot just invest in business without assessing, without thinking of what the outcome will be tomorrow. So that's just what I want to say. Before you invest in any business, you have to think about it, and you can also ask others that you think, people that are experts in that field, people that you think is better than you. So that's just it.
Yeah, thanks.
BBA youths. Okay, Mr. Tolu Oladele, I'm so blessed with this presentation, and I want to also add that you have been a source of encouragement to the youths in this church, and it's been coming. I have a question. So I appreciate you, and God will continue to bless you. Because if we say we want to pay all the facilitators today, we don't know how much, let alone someone like him. And we don't know how much he's going to collect. So, you see, so it's a sacrifice that we cannot pay for, but God will reward you. My question is, at what point do you start bookkeeping? At what point in your business do you start bookkeeping? That's one. In the world of technology, would you recommend a manual bookkeeping or an automated bookkeeping?
Okay. You start bookkeeping from day zero, not even day one. The moment you start thinking about that business, you put your thoughts on paper, isn't it? Or you put it automated, paper, whatever it is, but you start bookkeeping from day zero. So the day the money comes and then you go to the market to buy the goods, isn't it? Or probably pay the rent for the shop you want to. I'm talking about physical goods now, isn't it? You start taking the records. If it's services that you want to render, the day you pay for CAC registration, for example, you start taking the records. So bookkeeping starts from day one. What was the second question? Okay. So for me, I think it's what works for you. Automated is better because it's easily accessible, whether or not you are in your business place at any point in time. Even outside your business place, you can easily have access to your records, isn't it? But also, manual bookkeeping works too, because anything can happen. That phone can be stolen. That laptop can be stolen. So for me, what I do is I try as much as possible to keep records, both of them, isn't it? Both the manual and the automated. Or probably do my records and send to my email. So that way it's saved somewhere. So even if my device is missing, if I get a new device, I can easily access it and then continue from where I stop.
Yeah, thank you, sir. God bless you. And concerning the bookkeeping, please, just a question. What kind of app or software would you suggest?
Okay, so for me, I'll tell people the easiest is Excel. Yes, for the layman, exactly. It's the easiest is Excel. So if you are very good with Excel or even understand the formulas of Excel, you can set up formulas that shows your income, shows your expenses, and automatically with the formula gives you the difference between that income and expense on the different column. But there are other more complicated applications that you can use, but for me, for the purpose of this, I will just, because Excel is the most easily accessible bookkeeping app that anyone can have access to at any point in time.
Thank you so much, sir. We appreciate. Okay, so we're going to move to the last facilitator. Okay, so before we go to the last facilitator, we would like to welcome somebody who has benefited from this particular program. So remember when Presido came up, he talked about people that, came up and said, this is the business I'm doing, and I need so amount, and he yielded profit. So we're going to welcome somebody who is a beneficiary and has yielded, results. So please let's jam our hands as we welcome Sister Oyedamola.
Praise the Lord, church. Praise the Lord. So I'll just call it a testimony because, okay, thank you. I will just call it a testimony because sometimes last year, I think it was last year, yes. So they called for a meeting like that. I think they said we should wait, the youth should wait after the service or something like that. And they mentioned this youth empowerment program, and where they said we'll bring our business proposal, so they will check it, they will fund it, they will monitor and everything. So when it came to my mind, when they said it, so first of all, I had a very positive spirit towards it. So I was just, because I have two businesses apart from what I do. Yes, I'm an accountant. So I have to be apart from what I do. So, and one of it is this ram. I would just say it's into the agricultural part, this ram, rearing of ram, and also selling. So, and I've started before the youth empowerment program. So when they just said it, I was like, okay, it's good. It's a way of expanding also. So like our facilitator said, he said, it's not as if I don't have the salary to actually do it, but you don't use your salary for things like that. So I said, okay, it's fine. And they said, it's not coming with interest also. So I said, okay, this is a good one, so I can actually expand with it. So I actually did. They said we should do proposal, we should do our analysis, we should explain. And they said they will also be monitoring us too and everything like that. So I actually applied for it. And when I applied for it, so we had a meeting, they made some corrections and everything because I wanted to buy only the ram. I didn't want to buy the sheep, that's the female. So, but they said it's good because it's a way of, that's long-term thinking. So when you buy the sheep also, they produce the rams and everything, you can sell later in future. So I actually said, okay, and I adjusted my proposal. So after sometimes they sent the money, and I would say they sent 250,000 to me. So, you know about so they sent 250,000 to me, and I was able to buy the ram two, and the sheep I was able to buy two too. So for I think I spent 134,000 on the ram, and the sheep I think I spent 104. Yes. Then for their medicine and also the teeth here, because I actually don't do it myself. I don't do it personally. I have someone in Ilorin, a Fulani man, that does it. So I actually sent it to him. So he was the one monitoring it. He was the one doing it. I was just supervising. And I have someone in Ilorin too that can always check on him. So it was supposed to be, it's 1 year. Actually, it's 1 year. It's 1 year. So along the line, they were following up with me. And there was a time that one of the ram was bitten by a snake. But we treated it and it was very, very fine. And that was even the biggest one. So, and it was very fine. So this last Salah, because I have my target market, and my target market are the Muslims that do the Salah, especially I have uncles because I converted. So I have a lot of Muslim uncles and everything, and also some friends. And even outside, I have people that also do business like that, and they can easily sell. So during the Salah, so I was able to sell the ram. I didn't touch the sheep because they are currently pregnant. So I was able to sell the ram. So, like I said, I bought the two of them, 134,000. That's for the ram. And I was able to sell it 300 plus. Let me check the. So I was able to sell, yes, 320. So from that, I paid my loan back, and I still have something left. And I still have the pregnant ones that I don't have to repay. So that's what I just want to say. Thank you.
Are you joking? See our power money. The snake that got, okay. She mentioned it. I just wanted to make emphasis on it. The snake that got bitten. Sorry. The ram. The ram that got bitten by the snake. That alone is a testimony. That alone is, because, medicine was used, but I believe that God used this. The anointing was on the money. The anointing was on, let's finish it. The anointing was on the money. Please. Thank God. So let's welcome so we have another, somebody who is also a beneficiary, but she's not here presently, right? I think Presido mentioned, just briefly mentioned the person when he was doing his briefing. And that is, we also have her as a beneficiary. And like he rightly said, every month she didn't default. We're always seeing her alerts every single. I think now she has paid up. Has she? I think she has finished paying. 2 months to go, and I think she has even been sending us feedback of, you know, how God is blessing her business, and also we thank God. We thank God. Okay, yes, actually, aside from Sister Idamola and the other person, currently we have 3 people that are benefiting from this empowerment program. So please, we thank God. Okay, so please let's welcome the last facilitator. I know we're tired, but this is an information that we need. So please let's welcome the last facilitator.
BBA youths. BBA youths. Now, what the president said, that we have 3 people who are currently benefiting from the scheme, is half true. It's half true. Why I said so is because everybody seated here is benefiting from that scheme. Put your hands together for the initiators of that scheme. And so it is important to say that, because remember when we made the announcement, people pay a fortune for this type of stuff. And I can tell you, if you have to go to somewhere, maybe the Hilton, to listen to something half as good as this, you will part with hundreds of thousands. Just participation fee, registration fee, sometimes hundreds of thousands. I know, like I said then, somebody paid 700,000 to learn the art of public speaking. 700,000. In Abuja here, I can take you there. In fact, the program is on today. They do it every month. It's on today. If we get in a car fast, we'll get there. 700,000 to learn how to hold microphone and speak. So we should not take for granted everything that we have done, everything we have heard, everything we have listened to so far today. And the reason is because we didn't get it for cheap. We didn't. I do not say this with levity, but the speaker who left here, when he's giving this speech in some places, you can't get into that room. I don't know if you understand. You can't walk into the bank where Tolu is managing and just walk up to his office. It's not that easy to see you. You do not know what stood or who stood before us. And same with every other person. My good friend Isaac, I know how far career-wise Isaac is. Isaac is what's the word I'm trying to look for? He's law in his profession. By law, I mean people who, whatever they say is stamped. Oh, coming from this guy with this qualification, then that goes for it. And Gabriel is no longer young. It's difficult to say because I know how we were back. You know, we grew up together and all of that, but he's far gone. He's far gone. So Gabriel can loan you 1 million naira today, interest-free. I'm saying this on his behalf. He's there now. So now he's financially stingy. So, no, that's stingy. He can, but he will not. He said he can. So, let's get into it. Let's get into it. I learned one thing today. When Isaac was talking about Genesis chapter 1, verse 28, I wrote it down. I never knew that to be fruitful and multiply was apart from giving birth to. I thought it was all about giving birth, just a born, be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, children everywhere. And Isaac, you need to do more in the north. Because Aboki, that's how they understand it too. That's why there's Almajiri everywhere. Because just born, replenish the earth. That's an instruction from God. So please let them know that it is business-wise. It has nothing to do with having children. Even Adam, we then give instructions. She not only two inborn self, Cain and Abel. Then later Seth, if not be say financial risk came in between. So the only thing I'm going to be posting on this screen is the topic. That can slide now. And everything I've said from the onset is just to take it how it comes because of who I am and because of what I'm talking to you about. So I've been a customer service person for all my life, actively more than 12 years. I've been in hospitality for that period as well. And I can tell you that it is one of the most difficult things to do. So let us, you see, first, I want us to correct one impression that we had wrong in the first place. So Gabriel asked a question, who doesn't have a business that he's doing at the moment now? Somebody, who raised his hand then? You did? Could you stand up, please? Who else raised their hands? That you don't have a business you're doing at the time. Who else raised their hands? Who else? Okay, so I want to tell you for a fact, you have a business right now. You have a business right now. And that is the most important business everybody can have. You can sit. Please, everybody in this room has a business they are running right now, whether you are being paid or you are not being paid, whatever it is. And that is the most important business you can have. And that is your image. My image. Your person. Now, let me ask you. We all know sport betting, gambling, betting. It's common everywhere, right? If you have a friend that is a chronic betting person, addict, can you just signify with a wave of your hand? You have someone who is chronically a bettor for analysis sake. Pardon every grammar used. You have. Now, if you have 20 million naira and you want to do a business and you have to work with that person, and the guy is like, okay, Baba, just give me these funds, make it day my OP, then next week, no worry, Abba, no worry, I'm not going to touch him. Then, while you are still discussing with him, his phone is like this. Man, you. Kai, my guy, no worry. So, tell me you will do that. Will you give him the money? So if it's the one that will make the 20 million back. So you can give him 20 million to bet for you and return the money next week. Good. So that's financial risk I was talking about. So maybe you should meet him later. Show him the formula I used to calculate that thing so that you will know. So it is important, like I said, to build your image. Your image is what sells you. Your image is what makes everything. We're talking Dangote today, all of that, blah, blah, blah. Now, think about it this way. Imagine it was somebody like, let's say, Nnamdi Kanu. Many of us know him, the pro-Biafran leader, who is building that refinery today. Will it see the light of day? Do you think that refinery will spring up? Image is key. Dangote has managed to stay away from every form of, is it the problems? He has found a way to stay silent. He has found a way not to make enemies with government. He has found a way to maintain his image as a businessman. Stay away from politics. Stay away from this. Maintain your lane. Keep this aside. And all of that. So, please, image is key. Now, because this is the most practical aspect of everything we're doing. Everything we've said from the onset down to this moment, this is the practical aspect. And all of us will speak. The microphones will be going around. I will be doing very little talking. This is where you actually make the sales. This is where you actually close the deals. This is where you actually, financial discipline and all of it. This is the point where you move in the funds from wherever it is to your place. This is the point where you keep customers. This is the point where you become relevant. This is where Dangote has managed to stay afloat and has conquered. And that's why you can move on from one business to another. We're at that stage now. Okay, so don't mind this book. It will do a lot for me today. So I want to ask a question. What's the difference between a marketer and a salesman? I can ask Pascal, please. I like the mic. Pascal, the difference between a marketer and a salesman. I think they are the same.
Well, I don't think there's any difference. Much like both of them are doing the same job. A marketer perhaps goes out, talks about maybe the product or the service. Right now, there are certain skills a marketer must possess. Maybe how to close a deal, right? Because you're going with the product to sell. So what are you going to tell the customer? How do you convince the customer to buy? So I think they are both doing the same job.
They are both doing the same thing. Good. A round of applause for Pascal. Oyin, you have benefited now. You have made sales, so you know the difference.
Okay, I would say they are different a little, because you can be a marketer without selling. So you market, you tell people, and you don't make anything at the end of the day. But a salesman, after you've done the marketing, you secure the deal.
Okay, so I don't think I need to ask further questions. That's the difference. A marketer markets. A salesman sells. A salesman is that tush guy that comes out of a Kia these days, or a Land Cruiser, walks into an office, walks out with his tailored suit smiling, with a file in hand and a signed deal. Isaac was a salesman when he closed that deal for his business. The other young man was a marketer. The marketers are mostly roaming the streets of Abuja, moving from Bank A to Bank B, Office A to Office B. At the end of the day, I pitched to 30 clients. I pitched to this, I did this, and I did that. That's a marketer. So, Bolao, please come. You come. You come. Yeah. Okay, so I want all three of them with very loud voices. Where's the microphone? I want very loud voices, please. Sell this pen to me. Take. Sell this pen to me. We are in a practical class now. Sell it to me. Sell it, sell it. Tell me why I have to buy this pen. It's okay. I'm selling this biro. This biro is one thing. Biro, pink biro. And sir, you have to buy it. It's 50 naira, blah, blah, blah. Sell it to me.
Okay. Can I get your phone number, please?
Okay, 080-123-456.
I'm going somewhere, please. I need you written down. I'm going somewhere, please.
Oh, okay, I should write it down. Yeah. I take out my pen. I write my phone number.
You don't have a pen. This is a pen. It's only costs 500 now, and it's a very good pen. Thank you.
No, but I have a pen.
You don't have one now. Where is the pen?
No, but okay, give me a pen.
No, don't borrow it. Don't give me.
No. I'm getting somewhere. So I have a pen. So why should I buy your pen?
Okay, my pen is efficient. It doesn't lag. Yeah, the ink is imported from Africa, and it's one of a kind.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he has pitched to me, right? Good. So thank you. Just stay with me. You. Oh, okay. Okay. So pitch this pen to me, sell it to me. We are practical now. Because at the end of the day, when Gabriel was talking about the client that called him this morning and he made 100,000, Gabriel did not just sit in his phone, sit in his chair and 100,000 dropped in his account. He did something to make that man part with that money. And I bet you it was not a WhatsApp message. That WhatsApp message, you can get it anywhere. It wasn't that message he sent. He did something extra that put that money in his pocket. So, sell this pen to me.
Okay. Good day, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
How are you doing today?
So far, so good. Not bad.
Okay, sir. I actually have a product for you that you find very interesting and it's very nice.
Okay.
And this is a pen. It's not the same with other pens you've been using. This has a very high quality and it doesn't spill and it lasts long. And this is actually imported from America and you can use it for a very long time. It doesn't stain books. It's very efficient in its work.
I don't write. I basically don't write. I do not use a pen for anything. My phone solves all my problems.
But it's very necessary because
Yes, I have pens in my
I guess
house.
one of your kids will need it.
My kids will need a pen?
Yeah.
Okay, I have a packet in the house for them.
But this is totally different from the ones you've been using. Maybe you
I have
should
this
give it a
exact
try.
pen. I'm just pushing you. Thank you. I get where she's coming from, and we all get it, right? Okay, good. So,
Good afternoon, sir.
hi.
Yeah, I'm Precious by name from Livingstone Enterprise. I have this pen for sale. If you look at it, it's a pen that have a very narrow tip.
Narrow tip.
Yes.
So it can act as a nail?
Nice. It's nice. Whenever you're writing, it makes your writing to be
My
clearer.
writing is bad, no matter,
No,
even
no,
if
no.
you like, write
Using
with a
this
computer.
pen, it will do magic.
If I use Times New Roman, my writing is still bad.
No. This pen will perform magic. So I want you to patronize my product. I'll be glad if you do that.
Thank you very much, ma. I like what three of you have done. Can I have my pen? Thank you. Please jam your hands together for them while they take their seats. Thank you for the prop pen that you borrowed me. Sir? Okay, try. Let Isaac try. Here's my pen. Sell it to me.
Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you, brother.
You're looking sharp, sir.
As it should be. He's whining me now. You get now. He's appealing to my emotions now,
Love
first.
your smile, sir. I saw you when you were walking in.
So,
and something moved me to come and meet you, sir.
he's doing something to my emotions now. Watch.
Okay. My name is Isaac, actually.
Hi, Isaac. Thank you. Now I'm blushing. And I'm waiting for him because he's getting somewhere.
I thank you for giving me the opportunity to come and talk to you. I'm very
Go ahead.
grateful. I see, I don't know, but I believe that you work with this global network within Guarimpa area. Yeah, based on what you are wearing. So there's something I have for you. It's just a tip. There's this pen that when you have it, you don't write with it. Just put it on your shirt. Anytime you go back to that global network, someone will meet you and you expand your business. I think it will be of help to you, sir. I just thought to just chip into you. It will be necessary that you have this pen.
My good friend, did you hear what Isaac said? You didn't hear what he said? Okay, so use this pen, use this mic again.
All right.
Just be brief, the way you said it.
From the clothes you're wearing, I see you are from that global network. And you must have been patronizing that network for a while. But I just thought to just give you a hint. There is this pen that will give you access to an inner caucus. And I'm sure from there you will have access to a network that will expand whatever business you are into. I just thought to give it to you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So how much is the pen?
And the pen is 500,000.
500,000.
Yeah.
Nice. So how do I make payment?
Okay,
Good.
sure. Yeah.
Thank you. So put your hands together for Isaac. Before you can move forward with any business whatsoever, they use different language. Somebody used niche, somebody said purpose, somebody said this. But let's come back to the basics. Identify need. The basic is need. Need. Before you can make any sales. Now, need is what moves you from marketing to sales. So, when you people were telling me about this pen, how it was going to, the pen is this, you were only telling me the characteristics of that pen. That pen I have no need for it. Make me need it. Now, Isaac has told me something, an inner carcass. Find out if you have something. Who has a phone now? Who is with a phone just right now? Browse a phone called Vertu. 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 And tell me the price you see online. Vertu. And you share the picture of the phone. Just show somebody beside you. Vertu. Vertu. If you find it, please just let us know. So you see, we are getting together into it now. We are actually in the point of making sales. We are making sales now. So how much do you see? Say it out. Give her the microphone. Okay, take mine. Give her. Stand up and talk. Stand up quickly. Very loud voice. With the microphone.
$400.
Huh?
$6,400.
$6,400. What do you see on yours? Huh?
$20,000.
$20,000. Good. Who else can see something like that? You see the phone? Doesn't even have camera itself. Have you seen it? It surprised you? So let's have your attention now. Anybody holding that phone has a VIP access to anywhere in the world. Anybody holding that phone. The Vertu assistant, you can simply voice note, Vertu, hi, book a hotel for me in Abuja, probably the best. I'll check in at 4 p.m. Your phone will book your hotel, do blah, blah, blah for you. It doesn't think little, it thinks big. So if I walk into an elevator with Dangote and I'm holding a Vertu phone, all I need to do, I won't even greet him. I just bring out my phone and flip through and put it. Hi, Vertu. I want to have dinner at 8 p.m. Anywhere you can choose. It's Dangote that will reply me. Good afternoon, sir. Because he knows I am one of the few people like him that has that phone. So we're in the same class. So, in order to make sales, you have to build a structure that can make sales. Now, your structure will identify need. I need somebody that I can use. Pascal, please come. Now, Pascal wants to build a design for... Please come. Pascal wants to build a design for her. The first thing Pascal has to do is to identify her USP. Isaac called it value, something about value, but it is a unique selling proposition. You're unique, the special thing about your business. That is what you will use to make that flyer. Your flyer should not contain data, it should contain information. Whatever you are giving out must contain real information. Real information. So, now, what is the first thing you will try to find out about her?
So when she maybe sent me a message, right, okay, hi Pascal, I need a flyer design. So I'm not just going to, okay, this is how much of flyer, right? So I'm going to ask her some couple of questions, okay, about the flyer to get to know what she needs exactly, right? Maybe if it's a flyer for a business, right? If she wants to sell something, yes. So from there, I'm like, okay, what's this flyer for? Okay, I want to showcase my product out there through the flyer, right? So, okay. Once she has told me that this is what she wants to do, achieve with the flyer. Now I've identified the problem, right? So I'm not just creating flyer as a designer, right? I would want that flyer to convert. So I'll ask her further questions, okay, which type of business or what type of business are you into, right? And she said, okay, she's into let's say, baking. She bakes, right? Or maybe she's into, depending on the industry.
Yeah.
Right, depending on the industry.
Yeah.
So, once I get to know the particular problem, right, that I'm solving or that flyer will solve, because flyer is not just.
It has to solve a problem, right? So you aim to solve that problem.
Yes.
Now, let me flip the two sides, right? Let's flip it now. Does this work? Yes. So let's flip it now. You are a business owner. Why are you choosing Pascal to build your flyer? What should he have that should appeal to you to build your flyer?
Okay. Before, walking up to him to build a flyer for me, I would have find out maybe he can actually make the kind of flyer I want. Like now, I actually did a flyer recent that is for my notes. So, depending on the kind of, let's say, the kind of people I want to launch for.
Why do you want him to do a flyer for you?
Because, wanting him to do a flyer, I would actually want him to do an eye-catching flyer. The one that can actually sell my brand
So,
fast.
exactly where I'm coming
She
from.
has a problem and she needs a solution from me.
She needs a solution. Why is she choosing you?
Yes.
Because there are 20 or more graphic designers in Abuja. Give her that microphone. There are 20, thank you. There are 20 or more graphic designers in Abuja. So, why choose Pascal?
Maybe because.
No, don't maybe me.
Okay, I'm choosing him.
You are not maybe now. That time I was taking risk. You are the one that told me I should not take it. Don't maybe me.
Okay, sir. I'm choosing him because he's very excellent in what he's doing, and I know that he will do a very attractive flyer that will help my customers to be satisfied.
Thank you. That's all I need. Thank you. I'll get back to you. Now, the key point to note here is data collection. Collect as much information as you want. Now, collecting data has to be practical data now. Practical data. Please, let's be specific about this. How many of us have seen, let me use a popular car, a Ferrari. We all hear the word Ferrari. Who has heard the word Ferrari? It's one of the most expensive cars ever made. Please tell me you have seen a Ferrari advert. Raise your hand and tell me if you have seen one. A Ferrari advert. So, if they don't advertise, how do they make sales? No, tell me, if they don't advertise, how do they make sales? Because, of course, the cars are there. So, if you've not seen a Ferrari advert, how do they make sales? Who makes sales for Ferrari? No, Ferrari don't make sales for themselves. They get money in. Who makes the adverts for Ferrari? No. It's not people that drive Ferrari that make the adverts. Someone said something. Who makes the adverts for Ferrari? Say it. Say it out. Somebody said yes. What did the person say? Say it out. Good. So that's one point. Let me now surprise you. It is me and you that makes adverts for Ferrari. All of us seated here has a wallpaper of that car. All of us seated here would naturally be drawn to a video or a picture of that car on the internet. All of us seated here will leave whatever we are doing and see when that car drives past. When you're on the road and you're driving your car quietly and it's coming from far, you first feel like your own car is not fine. So, waiting the shake ground like this. Then the thing is coming again. Then you start slowing down. Say, oh boy, see that matter, or see that matter. You are the one doing it for them. All Ronaldo needs to do is to just drive up to a mall, park, go inside to have a haircut. Before he comes, 200 of us have gone to that car. Oh boy, snap me near this car, beg. Snap me near this car. I want post now. Snap me, sharp, sharp. You don't need to do anything. So even when he finishes what he's doing and he comes out, he sees all of you snapping by the car. It's like, wow. Then the one that doesn't have it is gearing up for it. So, my point is, how do you make your products seen or heard? You sell. How did Dangote make his name seen or heard? He built an image, Dangote. He found a problem that needs solving. He identified need. He collected data, adequate data. Then he started. Expansion. Now, do you know now, self, if Dangote is advertising, it's just because, does he need adverts? Only your dustbin alone is advertising Dangote. If you scatter it, if you don't see spaghetti, you see sugar. If you even go outside, maybe your there's some local environments, even the bacha, now Dangote cement bag, they take run out. So, you build that relevance. We are getting somewhere. Okay. Now, in identifying, this is just a small digression. In identifying your customer, identifying the needs of your customer, please, let's know demographics, emotions. Children are mostly driven to making you make sales by what they hear. Your kids can come from school and everything that day has to be Capri Sun. Now, you are buying Capri Sun not because you want to buy Capri Sun, but because a child brought Capri Sun to school and it became the talk of the school. A child brought Capri Sun to school and it became the talk of the school. So that's a strategy. You might have a product that you want parents to buy. Sell it, pitch it to children. Let me tell you how a man became a very big land dealer in Abuja. He teaches in a primary school in Asokoro, primary school teacher. They're paying him 18,000, 28,000, maybe 18,000. So he had somebody who sells land, who was the accountant of the Hilton hotels. So he told the guy, he said, guy, I'll sell your land for you. He said, you sell my land? He said, yes. So when he finishes school, he will now call his children. Joe, how are you? Fine. How is your daddy? Is fine. Okay. Would you like to be a landlord? Say yes. Tell your daddy to buy land for you, yeah? If your daddy asks you where, tell him your teacher is selling land, you hear? Make sure your daddy buy land for you. The next day, lesson teacher, Emanuela, how are you? How is mommy? Mommy is fine.
Yes.
Do you like land?
Yes.
You want to buy land?
Yes.
Tell your daddy to buy land for you, yeah?
Yes, sir.
And the children went home and never gave their parents peace. Daddy, buy land for me. They don't know what land is. But daddy, buy land for me. Daddy, buy land for me. So when daddy came to pick Emanuela the next day in school, and daddy was taking Emanuela, oh yeah, stand up. We are going home. Stand up. So daddy is now taking Emanuela home. Now, Emanuela is now, then I now come. I say, Emanuela, how are you?
I'm fine.
Hope school was fine. Yes. Is this your daddy? Oh, daddy, how are you? Good afternoon, sir. Then, the next thing, hope you told your daddy that you want to buy land.
Yes.
Emanuela now, in the presence of the father, daddy, our teacher is selling land, buy land. And parents now discover that it's no more fluke. The child is not joking. Say, really? Mr. Gabriel, you sell land? Say, yes, I have land. Where's your land? It's in ShopRite here, or by Chika here. Really? How much? 80 million. Wow, what's the size? Blah, 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 blah. Okay, when I come tomorrow, we'll talk. As I'm speaking with you, That man has, according to him, he said he has about 10 plots in this behind. In fact, yes, please. That ShopRite, this ShopRite in Chika here, he has about 10 plots of his own. And he bought them as he was selling people's land, selling land to people, getting commission. He was buying his own and reselling. He's a big boy today. So, you can sell your products in the wrong place. Isaac talked about accidental heat. But you can pitch your product to people who will now, in turn, pitch. Now, who talked about Zlatan selling, creating $100 million brand for his clothing line? Gabriel. Now, Abba Boys sold that amount of money in 1 month with fake attires. How were they able to perfect it? Now, adolescents, men like me and you, are driven to sales from peers. Peers. Now, the official car of a Yahoo boy in Nigeria today is what? And Benz, and there's another one, Lexus. It started from one person. The Yahoo boy first bought Benz, white Benz, GLK, flinging the keys. Another one fell in line. Another one fell in line. Another one fell in line. And today, the official attire of a Yahoo boy is shorts. Once he's wearing his shorts and his Crocs and a white Benz, if you like, be a medical doctor, EFCC will carry you. You are wearing the attires of a Yahoo boy. Just be a medical doctor. Wear your singlet and your shorts and your Crocs or your easy slippers and come out of a white Lexus. Haba. You are in tech. And you are so cashing out. So, these are ways to maximize sales. So, what's the product you sell? And how can you use another means to get yourself to sell? So, when Abba Boys discovered adolescents will buy these clothes fastest, they put it out in the market and said, original Zlatan ZLT. And I give only you 2.5. No, tell your guy. I already know the Nigerian spirit. As he's leaving that shop, he's calling his guy. Obafa, I don't get that matter. Not 2.5. Talk true. He hits one guy in Suleja. The guy goes to bring 1,000 pieces. It's everywhere. Zlatan is posting his own in Hilton. Thank you. How many of us have access there? Now, I'm a CEO. I walk into the Hilton. Am I interested in a face cap? No. I saw an Indian billionaire drive a Ferrari to a mall in London and come out in his pajamas. He came for a business meeting. He came out in his pajamas and his flip-flops and came out, threw the key to the chauffeur, parked the car well. And people gathered to look at the car. Wow. Only 3 of that car were made in the world. But the person came out in pajamas. So, billionaires are not interested in their looks. So, if you want to sell a designer shirt and you post it in the Hilton, be ready that you will make sales of 1 piece per day or 1 piece per month. How do you make sales? Now, somebody said the cheapest Rolex, original Rolex, starts from $1 million. Is that correct? Yes. Original Rolex, the cheapest one starts from $1 million. Should I surprise you? The Rolex that we are buying 100,000, that we are buying 200,000, do you know who makes it? Who makes it? No, Rolex. Rolex makes it. They make the original, they make the copy. So when you buy that of 200,000, then you are flexing it already, you don't they go well. They will now bring up a campaign to identify the fake and the original Rolex. Then there is one small detail. They'll tell you, put it in water. If it come out, it's original. You bought it 200K now. 200K cannot be fake now. You sink it in hot water. Rolex, no, they roll again. No. Then, you now make the second mistake of showing your friend. Oh, but I know, a battery. Then you now go to Use. Devil now direct you to one Musa. Musa now says, okay, this one is small thing. I get them for my shop. Then he opens it. Tietitan, Rolex is gone. Now, what have you done? You have identified your product is fake. But you are popular amongst your peers for owning a Rolex. Now, you can't go lower than a Rolex based on the culture, based on who you be now, as you be for street. So what do? You already know that the 200,000 own is fake. How do we go now? One step higher. And that brings me to the next thing I want us to talk about, upselling. Upselling is when you sell biscuits and you sell cookies. What's the difference, please? They're all cookies. You said something.
They're all made with flour.
They're all made with flour. So shortbread and cabin. Which one is made with tuwo? No elubo inside. Shortbread and cabin. Please, sir, explain the difference to me. It's wide, ba? It's what? One has more. As a layman, one is biscuits, one is cookies. The rest is you that know. To Aboki, every medicine and ampiclos. So, how do you upsell? How do you tell me, I need this and I need that? So you see what Rolex has done. They are the same ones that do the copy. They are the same. If not, Rolex cannot be a top brand globally. If a wristwatch is $5 million a year per copy, and 60 people buy it, that's $300 million a year. But before one person buys that $5 million wristwatch, we have bought 500,000, more than 20,000 millions of us. And they are chilling. But they don't laud you. So when Ronaldo buys it, they televise him all over because Ronaldo has over 6 million followers. So 6 million of us are polishing our bank for a very calculated risk to buy a Rolex. Like, I wanted to buy a pen from Isaac for 500,000 because it would take me to a circle I should belong to. So, please, at the end of the day, before you make sales, this thing I'm talking of making sales can be as little as sewing clothes. Gabriel can give us a brief hint of a popular designer called May Atafo. If you are a tailor in Nigeria, you should know May Atafo. Right, Gabriel? May Atafo is a tailor. I knew him far back 2014. He's like me, slim like this. I knew him far back then. He used to make suits. And he only stayed on suits, if I'm correct. He only stayed on suits. I used to know him back then. Do you know what ended? It was this year Gabriel told me he wanted to enroll in the guy's suit sewing class. It was this year he told me. How much does he charge to teach people to sew suits? Please, let him use the microphone. How much does he charge to teach people to sew suits?
He charged 700,000 and 150,000 people paid.
700,000
Naira
to teach you to sew suits. Something where Ezra they sew for YouTube. Ask Ezra, in download them for YouTube. Whether in get them, I don't know, but in download them.
Not advanced level, beginner level.
That's like kindergarten.
Yeah.
No, now. If my child pay kindergarten fee 700,000, from there it's going to Savo. It's not going to any primary school. From there, if they go NYSC, 700 what? So for a beginner now, you're paying 700,000 to learn to sew suits. 150, how many people paid? 150,000 people paid. Do the maths for me, please. Bola, do the maths. I trust your skill. What? 105. Millie, for 3 months period. That is aside those that are paying to actually sow. Aside those that are doing that.
It's billion.
Now, eh?
Billion. 105 billion.
Hey.
It's billion. 700,000 times 150,000 people. Yes. 105 billion.
Sharon, you can close your mouth now. The mouth, they don't forget and open. You can close it now. So, what kept him there is... What kept him there? I'm almost closing now. You see how we have run around everything practically together. What kept him there? I told you I know him far back 2014. He stayed true to his niche. He found something he's good at, and he stayed there. While being at it, he made sure, I'm bringing the next one now, he has a solid team. One man cannot do it. That's where your team comes in. Now, let's narrow it down to our own circle. I'm going for a contract, say 10 million. Then, because I want to hit that contract at all costs, I go into it head on. Now, I come to the altar, I pray with all the anointing I have. The pastor decree for the week, by amen, they were hearing it in Lugbe. But you don't have a team. You can't prepare a proper proposal. You can't prepare a proper proposal. And you are going for that job. So, why not call Isaac? Bro, see waiting there on ground. I need proposal. Don't talk money. Let him be the one to talk money. Always hold your best cards. What I mean don't talk money is, don't start to say, how much you go do proposal for me? Bro, I need a service. Always remember that he can call back for a service. A service is always bigger than pay. Somebody has asked me for something and I say, bros, I will pay you back. I say, no, don't pay me back. Owe me one. Don't pay me back. Owe me one. I have a trump card now. I can slam it anytime. Owe me one. So, I need a proposal. And then he finally says, okay, he wants pay. Why? Good. Work with pay. Because if things go according to plan, you will be doing more in future. Then instead of Isaac getting 8% of every deal you make, Isaac will get 20,000 for proposal writing. That's foolishness. That brings us to another point. Think big. Always think bigger than what the current situation stays. Now, you get a team. Isaac gives us the deal. He prepares the proposal. Gabriel, we now need a social media presence. I'm going there on Monday. Fill this Instagram handle between now and Monday. I don't care what you do. Gabriel has a structure already on ground. He starts to work. Pascal is in there. They are graphically designing everything. By the time you get there on Monday, they researched you 1 hour before you walked in. Your social media is heavy. Even if Gabriel doesn't know what to do, just delete the pictures on his page, change the name to your own, then the page has been existing since 2017, and you are good. 10 hours later, they have replaced everything back, and business is in order. Maximize a proper team. You cannot make good sales. You will only remain in that location if you cannot maximize the strength of your team. If you cannot maximize the strength of your team. Now, another thing that we need to do in order to be that person you want to be, trust. Tolu said something about the tailor and blah, blah, blah. I have many mechanics, but there's one I trust. If you call manager, manager will pick. If you go to manager's shop, manager is not doing anything. If you want manager to work on your car, manager will get it right. I trust him for that. And I know why he doesn't get customers. He doesn't drive. Strange, right? A mechanic that can't drive. So, but trust. So, in your business, you are a tailor. You are never on time. Trust is similar with consistency. When you are consistent, people will trust your work. But today, the soup and the semo is not matching. Tomorrow, the clothes you sold, you ironed for me, one is not right. Next tomorrow, what other business are there? Quite a number. One of it is not matching. Trust and consistency will kill your sales. Trust and consistency will kill your sales. If you don't have these two features, if you don't have these two, you can't get it right. So please, work on yourself, work on your time. Now, all of this will fall back to your image as a seller. And that's why the biggest sellers, the best sellers only need to sell to one person. They go to sleep. They go to sleep. It is me and you that will use our mouth and bring the remaining customers to them. Bros, one guy sent me one thing yesterday. Bad. I'll carry you go to the guy's shop. I've taken you there myself. Then when they go, the guy will now say, my man, hold this 2K now. You try, you'll be better man, eh? Hold this 2K, sure boy. Then he posts you on his status. That is another skill of selling. Always what? Give back. Always give back. You can't be the best seller you want to be if you cannot give back. Now, the skills, the methods of giving back, there are many. You can use any method you want to use to give back. You can simply even counter-sell, like Gabriel rightly pointed out. I can offer you this bottle of water for 300 naira, but the cost of bringing it to you is 500, and I can offer you for 1,000 and tell you I'll deliver to you free. Or I can offer it to you for 1,500 and give you a complimentary cup that I bought for 250. So, at the end of the day, value is attached to something when you can appeal to the emotions of that person who is getting that item. I'm not one for pens, but if you want to reach out to me and you want to hit me right, and you find out what I like, you'll get me. Now, women always need something. That's the nature of women. Women always want something. Even if you've done all the shopping in the world, and the woman, her cash has finished like this, as you are walking, this grass is fine, and it's green, would have bought some. It's grass, but she wants something. She's a woman, she always needs something. So, if I want to sell my shoes to him, if I want to sell shoes to him, this is where I'll sell my shoes to. This is where I'll sell my shoes to. Don't waste your time selling that shoe to this man. The man can wear one shoe for 6 years. No, just 6 polo, 1 blue jeans, 1 sneakers, 1 palm, and a brother is fine. So how do you make him buy a shoe? Tell the wife. Have you imagined your husband on senator, black senator, with embroidery on the neck, and these white loafers? Think about it. It's 40,000. It's not much. The tire of your car is 85,000. But look at your husband on this. Okay, you guys are going for wedding next week. Look at how fine you are. Her emotions first. You have told her she's fine. How would you like daddy to be like you? Oga has paid for the shoe. Oga has paid for the shoe. So, in conclusion, always note errors. Where you failed, what made you fall, how you can get better. Avoiding these things will only do one thing to your business. Bring it down. This clothes, the customer said, this place is too spacious. It's supposed to be tight here. But you oh my God. I saw a post on X. One lady posted herself in a dress and posted the actual dress that she saw and requested for that dress, and now said what I ordered versus what I got. You know what it means? That means the tailor did a bad job. Then one guy now commented under it, said, "Ma, you self, are you what you ordered?" You see waiting the person waiting inside that clothes. You see as in body be. Then there's now you that is like me, and you now want to fit in that dress. It won't work for you. But that tailor is not supposed to go out there and say, ma, blah, 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 and that will make noise. No. Sometimes the cash cows, they don't really look it. And they don't care. So what do? You appeal to them, which is the normal thing every customer wants, to a level. Now, if you are in business, like Gabriel said, you don't want discouragement, blah. The first thing you do when you are in business is your heart has to be a coconut. Hard on the outside, soft on the inside, so that no insult gets into you. Your emotions is what should speak out. The counter reactions should take it, but don't let it discourage your work. So, give them what they want. Sometimes, you can even tell the customer, I have something else for you. And this one, ma, you are the one that will start the trend. Let's bet. You are the first person that will start this trend. How would you like to be the first person? You will be on every flyer in this social media space because of what I will do for you. And you are there. So please, let's always look out for that. Customer service is personal. Always know your customers are not me and you. Treat all of us as the same. No, work with me like me. Work with you like you. I value time more than money. Some customers value money more than time. Some customers are about being loud. Make whatever you do for them. Tell every customer they like to be the first person. Oga, this is your car. Now you first buy this Benz for this Africa. I swear. Now you first buy him. Treat him. You know he likes it. Do that to him. You'll get what you want from him. I don't know if we are getting where I'm coming from. Because now we're already at a point where you have to make the sales. If you know that you are going to pitch to somebody tomorrow to get a deal, and you are not very good at speaking, don't go by yourself. Send somebody. Send who will buy it. Send who will get it. You can get a Wafarian on the street that can speak all the grammar. The man will laugh. The man will fall in love. And then the man will part with the money. Send the right person. And it will come back to you. That's where you need the structure. So, finally, always note that you cannot stop learning. Finally, you cannot stop learning. And if you continue to improve, you will continue to get the next level. Now, we're using people like Zuckerberg for an example. He continually improves. Every time you open your WhatsApp, there is a new feature. There is a new addition. Do you know sometimes they are trying those things? Are you aware? Sometimes they are trying those features, and they are not using it for WhatsApp. They tried it for a while, and it's not working. He pushes it to Snapchat. Oh, perfect feature. It stays there. So please, let's always constantly learn, constantly improve, constantly admit your mistakes, constantly get better at it. Make sure you always evolve with your team. Pay attention to training. Please, constantly pay attention to training your team. Your team is you. If Dangote has failed to train his team, that cement factory won't be standing. He's not the one calculating how much they make from cement. He's not the one mixing the sand. He's not the one doing the work. But he knows that these guys, we must invest in them. And they are also getting right at it. So always train that team. And you see that when you get there, that team will deliver. If you don't have a solid team, you can't have a solid base. You can't expand. It is the team that will expand. If we are opening a new branch in London, whoever is going to London has to be fit to serve. Now, if you don't train him, how will he do it? So, at the end of the day, we should be able to make further sales from now, eliminating the errors and maximizing output. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Does anyone have a question for him? Okay.
BBA youth.
Pillars.
BBA youth. Pillars. I hope some people are not angry already at me because I always ask questions. Well, it's one of it is actually to help us understand. You know, lately I start learning that asking questions really makes sense and it helps you. Apart from helping you to know better, it builds your confidence, asking questions. And you can see just by some people responding to questions, they've gotten 50K to their accounts. So it's very important. All right, Mr. Kenny, I appreciate you. I thank you for a wonderful presentation. Please, a round of applause for him. Things like this are not easy to come by. Just a question, sir. If, like you said, upselling, I'm able to maximize my output, I'm able to retain my loyalty with you, and how do I make someone a permanent customer? How do I make someone a permanent customer? You know, there are people that will buy from you, and they just forget about you. One time, one off. How do I make someone a permanent customer?
You see, do not overlook the place of consistency. The place of consistency in business. At the end of the day, it is what stays. Every customer is there not as friends. We're not friends. I love your product. Wow. The moment I feel you are no more giving me what I want, that's the end of our business. In a very simple way, some people have moved from one cooking oil to another. In the simplest forms, all of us use cooking oil. And for one particular reason. Now, some people will tell you, this particular oil, they last again. They don't change hand. No be so then start. These are common statements. The quality don't drop. The quantity don't drop. The dat don't drop. It don't scarce. They're available now for market. I saw it the other day somewhere. So, consistency is no more. Now, there are simple products that we have used for. Okay, let me come back to some of us now. You use maybe an Apple product, a phone, an iPhone. Why do you move from iPhone 12 to 13? Huh? And you're not staying updated. You are moving, you are a trend person. So if you are a trend person, and you are moving with trend, that phone they are making it for the same purpose of trend. I saw somebody who is a billionaire, a British billionaire, a billionaire in pounds. He was using an iPhone 7. In fact, he even used earpiece with his iPhone 7, and he wore his t-shirt and he was moving. So, you see, that's not for you. But the Nigerian person who consistently moves is moving with trend. So, if trend is your consistency, you stay that way. If a product or service is your consistency, you consistently stay that way. Now, to make somebody a loyal customer for life, you must provide the service that person needs for life. It's confusing now. Let me narrow it down. Power oil. They started, all of us, everybody here knows power oil. So we started buying power oil. Power oil was good. At the time, power oil became too expensive. Power oil was now selling like 4,000 something, 5,000 something for a bottle we used to buy for 1.6 examples. So many of us left. Now, how did power oil bring us back? They now did the advert, power oil, 700 milliliter, comes in a new sachet, you can buy. They brought sachet power oil. They have sachet power oil to the point that there is 250 naira own. It's when you tear the nylon, you will now know that it can only fry egg. But you go don't buy them. You say, it's not plenty. Give me another one. Give me another one. End of the day, you've bought the power oil. So they have provided your service for you at every level. This thing started with cowbell. Cowbell, our milk. And they started making it in sachet. Those days when we were young, we used to buy that milk and just... I don't know if you were in that class. So we just pour it in our mouth. We even used to have it in our pocket. That time, anytime you search me, my pocket used to sound like herbalist. Coins everywhere. I was not... So, and today, I'm still there. Let me surprise you with another method you can make somebody a permanent customer for life. Do you know you can have an adverse product? It will surprise you to know, and I heard from a reliable source, that the makers of Samsung are also the makers of Gionee. Gionee phone. Gionee. The makers of Samsung are the makers of Gionee. Peak and 3 Crowns. Cowbell and Mixie. They are all Friesland products. Cowbell makes Mixie. I know they like Cowbell. That Mixie better pass. Who said? It's the same man making both. Toyota is too common in Nigeria. I know they like them. I'm a big boy. Then you're driving a Lexus. You're driving Toyota. In Nigeria, I know they like them. I'm a big boy. Then you're driving a Lexus. You're driving Toyota. Toyota makes Lexus. Talk. You need more power on the road. There's a Lexus for you, sir. So you are a customer for life. Once you can consistently provide what your customers need, you will always have them.
Okay, well done, bro, Kenny. And I have a question. And my question is, okay, let me calm down. So we're talking about car is a customer. Okay, you are a business owner. And the purpose is, the reason why you render a service is because you want more. And by having more, it means you are going to retain this particular one by rendering a good service to that person. Now, there are a set of people that your intention is to retain them. But the service you render to them, they don't, let's say, comply in terms of maybe payment. And you want to retain them. But because you want to retain